The Billionaire's Silent Rebirth. My family can hear my thoughts. At 35, Adrian Reyes was the youngest self-made billionaire in Asia. He built an empire worth hundreds of billions through AI, biotechnology, investments, and technology. Cold, brilliant, and feared in the business world, he trusted no one. Until the people closest to him betrayed him. His board of directors, business partners, and even his fiancée conspired to murder him aboard his private yacht. His last thought before dying: if only I could go back. I'd spend more time with my family. He opens his eyes. He's 17 years old again. His parents are alive. His grandparents are healthy. His siblings are still annoying. And he hasn't lost anything yet. This time, he'll protect everyone, become even richer, and enjoy the peaceful life he never had. But something strange happens. The moment he wakes up, his family begins hearing every thought in his head. Mom looks exhausted. I should secretly make her a billionaire before she's 35. Everyone freezes. Dad is pretending to be strong, but he'll hurt his back next month. His father nearly drops his coffee. Grandpa has early-stage heart disease. I'll cure him in 6 months. His entire family stares at him. Adrian never opens his mouth. Yet every thought echoes inside their heads. He's naturally quiet, shy, and introverted. Unfortunately, his mind never shuts up. Now his entire family knows. He's a reincarnated billionaire. He's secretly a genius beyond human comprehension. He plans to become the richest man in the world, again. The problem: his family completely misunderstands him. They think their silent son is carrying the weight of the world alone. So they spoil him even more than before. Whatever Adrian wants, buy it. He skipped breakfast. Cancel my meetings. He smiled. Call the media. I don't care if it's $10 million, buy it for him. Adrian can have anything he wants. Luxury cars, private islands, companies, even an entire shopping mall. If he simply thinks about it. And somehow, his family only loves him more every day. Adrian never says anything. Family: Adrian, what do you want? Adrian, thinking. Chocolate cake sounds nice. 5 minutes later, 20 famous pastry chefs arrive at the mansion. Adrian: I only wanted 1 slice. The family hears that too. Bring the entire bakery. The story begins with Chapter 1, the billionaire who died with regret. Rain pounded against the dark ocean as the luxury yacht drifted silently through the night. Inside the grand conference room, Adrian Reyes sat at the head of the table. At only 35 years old, he had become the youngest self-made billionaire in Asia. His companies dominated artificial intelligence, robotics, pharmaceuticals, finance, renewable energy, and aerospace. Governments sought his advice. Fortune 500 CEOs feared negotiating against him. Yet despite his unimaginable wealth, he had no one left to trust. Across the table sat the people he had considered family. His executive board, his closest business partners, his fiancée. Each of them smiled. Each of them had already betrayed him. One of the directors slid a glass of wine toward Adrian. To another successful year. Adrian calmly stared at the glass. I don't drink during meetings. The smiles on their faces stiffened. His fiancée laughed awkwardly. You've always been so serious, Adrian. He quietly looked around the room. Every face, every fake smile, every hidden intention. I know. Silence fell. One director's expression changed. Know what? Adrian slowly stood. I know every one of you sold my company. I know you've already transferred billions into offshore accounts. I know. The explosion planned for tonight wasn't meant to sink the yacht. His cold eyes swept across the room. It was meant to kill me. Their expressions turned pale. You. Before anyone could react. Bang. A gunshot echoed. Pain exploded through Adrian's chest. Another shot. Then another. His body staggered backward. Blood stained his white dress shirt. His vision blurred as alarms filled the yacht. His fiancée lowered the pistol with trembling hands. I'm sorry. One of the directors sneered. You were too smart to keep alive. Another laughed. If only you'd trusted people. Adrian collapsed against the glass window overlooking the endless sea. He didn't hate them. He simply felt empty. His fortune, his empire, his achievements, none of them mattered anymore. The only thing he regretted was leaving home at 17. He had spent 18 years chasing success. He missed birthdays, family dinners, his sister's graduation, his younger brother's school festival, his grandfather's final fishing trip, his grandmother's homemade meals, his parents growing older. He had promised himself he would visit after one more business trip. One more meeting, one more deal. There was always one more, until there wasn't. His breathing grew weaker. Tears quietly rolled down his face. His cracked voice barely escaped. If I could do it again, I'd choose my family. The yacht erupted into flames. Everything disappeared in blinding white light. ... Birds chirped outside a bedroom window. Warm sunlight touched Adrian's face. ... His eyes slowly opened. A familiar ceiling, blue curtains, a bookshelf, school uniforms hanging beside the closet. His heartbeat quickened. No. He looked down at his hands. Smooth, young, without the scars earned over 18 years. He rushed to the mirror. A 17-year-old boy stared back. Black hair, sharp but youthful features, clear eyes untouched by exhaustion. He whispered in disbelief. I'm, ... 17. His breathing became uneven. He immediately grabbed the calendar hanging on the wall. April 3rd. 18 years ago. He had really returned. Memories flooded his mind. Everything. The market crashes. Future technologies. Economic crises. Natural disasters. Medical breakthroughs. Every opportunity. Every mistake. He remembered it all. Adrian slowly smiled. A genuine smile. One he hadn't shown in nearly 2 decades. This time, I'll save everyone. Knock, knock. Adrian. His mother's gentle voice came from outside. Breakfast is ready. He froze. Mom. His hand trembled as he opened the bedroom door. There she stood. Young. Healthy. Smiling warmly. Without thinking, Adrian wrapped his arms around her. His mother blinked in surprise. Adrian. He rarely hugged anyone. She gently rubbed his back. Did you have a bad dream? Adrian wanted to answer, but no words came out. Instead, one thought crossed his mind. ... I'm so glad you're alive. Suddenly, his mother froze. Her eyes widened. She slowly looked around the hallway. ... Victor. Downstairs, his father looked up from his newspaper. I heard it too. His older sister nearly dropped her juice. I thought it was my imagination. Even Grandpa and Grandma stared at each other in confusion. Only Adrian stood there, unaware. Thinking silently. This time, I'll protect all of you. And every member of the Reyes family heard every single word. Chapter 2, The Family That Heard the Impossible. The dining room fell into complete silence. Adrian stood motionless near the staircase, still hugging his mother. He hadn't noticed anything unusual. But everyone else had. Victor Reyes slowly lowered the newspaper in his hands. His wife, his parents, his daughter, his youngest son, every single one of them had heard the exact same voice. Yet Adrian's lips hadn't moved. ... Did anyone else hear that? Victor finally asked. Grandpa Raphael adjusted his glasses. I thought I was imagining things. Grandma Teresa nodded. I heard it too. Olivia, Adrian's older sister, looked upstairs in disbelief. It sounded exactly like Adrian. Lucas, his 12-year-old younger brother, nervously raised his hand. I heard Kuya say, I'm so glad you're alive. Everyone turned toward Adrian. He blinked in confusion. ... As usual, he remained silent. Ever since he was little, Adrian rarely talked unless someone asked him a direct question. Even then, he preferred answering with a nod or a single word. His quiet personality had always worried the family. Now, it worried them even more. Then another thought drifted through Adrian's mind. ... Why is everyone staring at me? Did I do something weird? The sentence echoed inside everyone's heads. Olivia gasped. Dad. Victor swallowed. We really are hearing his thoughts. Adrian frowned slightly. ... Dad looks younger than I remember. Victor's eyes widened. ... Mom hasn't developed those dark circles under her eyes yet. Elena covered her mouth. ... Grandpa is still healthy, for now. Grandpa Raphael's smile faded. ... I have to get him to a hospital within 6 months. If I wait longer, it'll be too late. Grandma Teresa nearly dropped the serving spoon. Hospital. 6 months. Adrian quietly walked toward the dining table, completely unaware of the chaos inside everyone's minds. He sat down. His breakfast looked exactly the same as he remembered. Garlic fried rice, scrambled eggs, longanisa, fresh mangoes. He stared at the food for several seconds. I haven't eaten mom's cooking in 18 years. Alina's eyes instantly became watery. Without saying anything, she placed another serving of eggs onto his plate. Then another. Then more rice. Victor added bacon. Grandma brought fresh bread. Lucas handed him orange juice. Olivia pushed the mangoes closer. Within seconds, Adrian's plate looked like it was prepared for 5 people. He blinked. I can't possibly eat all this. Everyone heard him. Grandma laughed warmly. Then eat what you can. Adrian looked up in surprise. He slowly picked up his chopsticks. For the first time in 18 years. He ate breakfast with his family. The food wasn't prepared by 5-star chefs. There were no expensive ingredients. But it tasted better than anything money could buy. A tiny smile appeared on Adrian's face. The room froze. Lucas pointed dramatically. He smiled. Olivia almost screamed. Mom. Adrian smiled. Victor stood up. My son smiled. Grandpa burst into laughter. Grandma happily wiped away tears. Adrian immediately became embarrassed. Was smiling really that shocking? Everyone heard it. Yes, they answered together. Adrian's ears turned red. He quietly lowered his head and continued eating. The family exchanged glances. He was adorable. After breakfast, Adrian returned to his room. He opened his old laptop. Slow, outdated, ancient by his future standards. This thing is painfully slow. Downstairs, Victor heard every word. He immediately called his secretary. Buy Adrian the best laptop available. The secretary sounded confused. Sir, he already has one. I said the best. Today. Yes, sir. Upstairs. Adrian opened his notebook and began writing. Future stock market movements. Upcoming technological breakthroughs. Companies that would become global giants. Hidden investment opportunities. Medical discoveries. Every major event he could remember. His pen moved at unbelievable speed. If I invest early, I can multiply our family's wealth hundreds of times. Victor nearly dropped his phone. Hundreds of times. Bitcoin. AI, renewable energy. Semiconductor companies. Victor didn't understand every term. But he knew one thing. His son somehow knew the future. Meanwhile, Adrian continued writing. Money isn't my goal this time. He paused. A gentle smile appeared. I just want everyone to live long, happy lives. Downstairs. No one spoke. Elena quietly wiped away tears. Olivia hugged her little brother. Grandma sniffled. Even Grandpa looked emotional. Victor clenched his fists. He had spent years worrying that Adrian was too quiet. Now he realized. His silent son had been carrying a burden far heavier than any of them could imagine. Victor stood up. I don't care what it costs. I'm going to protect Adrian. The entire family nodded in agreement. From that day forward, without Adrian knowing, the Reyes family made a secret promise. No matter what happened, they would protect the quiet genius who always put them first. Even if it meant spoiling him more than ever before. Chapter 3, The Genius Who Accidentally Bought a Company. The next morning, Adrian woke up at exactly 6 a.m. His biological clock hadn't changed despite returning to the past. He quietly made his bed, washed up, and put on his school uniform. As he looked at himself in the mirror, he sighed inwardly. I really have to attend high school again. Downstairs, his family heard every word. Olivia covered her mouth to stop herself from laughing. Grandpa chuckled. Victor nearly smiled. Only Adrian could think of school as something more difficult than running a trillion-dollar empire. At breakfast, everyone secretly watched him. Adrian calmly ate his fried rice. Mom's cooking is still the best. Elena beamed with happiness. She immediately added another fried egg to his plate. One egg was enough. She added another. Grandma added pancakes. Lucas handed him milk. Olivia put fruit on his plate. Within seconds, Adrian's breakfast became a feast. He quietly accepted his fate. As Victor prepared to leave for work, Adrian suddenly thought. Dad has a meeting with Horizon Electronics today. Victor froze. He hadn't told anyone. Don't sign the contract. Victor's heartbeat quickened. Their financial reports are fake. They're hiding billions in debt. The company will collapse in 8 months. Victor immediately canceled the meeting. His assistant looked horrified. Sir, they're already waiting. I said cancel it. Yes, sir. Meanwhile, Adrian arrived at school. Students filled the campus. Some greeted him. Others ignored him. Adrian simply nodded politely. Nothing has changed. His calm appearance attracted attention anyway. He looks handsome today. Was he always this cool? He never talks. Maybe he's just shy. Adrian ignored the whispers. He preferred peace. During mathematics class, the teacher wrote an advanced calculus problem on the board. This question came from an international mathematics competition. No one has solved it yet. The classroom fell silent. The teacher smiled. Anyone want to try? Adrian looked at the board. That's not calculus. It's a shortcut using number theory. Without realizing it, he whispered, Wrong formula. The classroom froze. It was the first sentence Adrian had spoken all day. The teacher blinked. Come here, Adrian. Adrian reluctantly walked to the board. 3 lines. That was all. He solved a problem university professors struggled with. Silence. The teacher stared at the solution for nearly a minute. Perfect. The classroom exploded. No way. He's a genius. He solved it in 30 seconds. Adrian simply returned to his seat. Oops. That afternoon, Victor couldn't stop thinking about Adrian's warning. He ordered his finance team to investigate Horizon Electronics. 2 hours later, the report arrived. Everything Adrian had thought was true. The company's books had been manipulated. Hidden loans, fake profits, massive debt. Victor leaned back in his chair. My son saved me billions. That evening, Victor returned home carrying a small gift box. At dinner, he placed it in front of Adrian. Adrian tilted his head. What's this? Open it, Victor said with a smile. Inside was a limited edition mechanical watch worth several million pesos. Adrian's eyes widened slightly. It's beautiful. Victor smiled. I'm glad you like it. Adrian looked confused. I only saved him from making one bad investment. Victor almost laughed. One investment? If I had signed that contract, our company would have lost billions. The entire family nodded proudly. Grandpa crossed his arms. Our Adrian is amazing. Lucas grinned. My brother is a superhero. Olivia pinched Adrian's cheek. Our little genius. Adrian immediately looked away in embarrassment. I'm 17, not 5. Everyone heard him. 5 seconds later, Olivia pinched his other cheek. Still adorable. Grandma nodded in agreement. So cute. Elena smiled warmly. Our precious son. Even Victor couldn't hide his grin. Adrian silently accepted defeat. No matter how powerful he had been in his previous life. In this house, he could never win against his family. As Adrian quietly ate dessert, another thought crossed his mind. Tomorrow, Bitcoin drops another 3%. Victor nearly choked on his tea. The next day was going to be another very profitable day for the Reyes family. Chapter 4. The silent genius becomes the school's biggest celebrity. The following morning, Adrian entered the school gate with his usual calm expression. As always, he walked quietly with his hands in his pockets. He hoped today would be peaceful. Let's avoid unnecessary attention. Unfortunately, the moment he stepped onto campus. Look, it's Adrian Reyes, the math genius. He solved an international competition problem in 30 seconds. I heard even the teachers couldn't solve it. Students from every grade stared at him. Adrian froze. Why does everyone know? The whispers spread like wildfire. Girls peeked from classroom windows. Boys looked at him with admiration. Even seniors stopped to watch. Adrian quietly lowered his head. I just wanted to survive high school peacefully. Inside the faculty office, the mathematics teacher was proudly telling the story for the 10th time. I'm telling you, he only wrote 3 lines. Another teacher laughed. You've exaggerated enough. I haven't. The principal happened to overhear the conversation. Bring him to my office after class. Meanwhile, at the Reyes Group headquarters, Victor Reyes was staring at a giant monitor. Bitcoin had dropped exactly 3%. Exactly. As Adrian had predicted, Victor invested a large amount immediately. Within hours, the market began recovering. His company's investment division earned hundreds of millions of pesos in a single day. The executives were stunned. Chairman, how did you know? Victor smiled proudly. My son. He's always right. Back at school, during lunch break, Adrian quietly sat beneath a large acacia tree, eating the lunch his mother had prepared. He loved peaceful places. Finally, silence. Then, a timid voice interrupted him. A first-year student stood nervously nearby. Can I sit here? Adrian looked up and gave a small nod. The student smiled brightly. Within a minute, 5 more students arrived, then 10, then 20. By the end of lunch, nearly 30 students had gathered around Adrian. No one spoke loudly. Some quietly ate, some studied, others simply enjoyed the peaceful atmosphere around him. Adrian blinked. How did this happen? His family heard that thought. At home, Olivia burst into laughter. Our Adrian accidentally started a fan club. Lucas nodded seriously. It's because Kuya has protagonist aura. Grandma tilted her head. What's protagonist aura? It's when everyone naturally likes someone. Grandma smiled proudly. That's our Adrian. After classes, the student council president approached Adrian. She bowed politely. Adrian, we would like to invite you to become a member of the student council. Adrian immediately thought. Too much work. Everyone nearby heard nothing, but at home, his family heard everything. Victor laughed so hard he nearly spilled his coffee. Our son rejected them before they even finished. Adrian politely bowed. I'm sorry. It was only 2 words. Yet everyone nearby gasped. He spoke. The genius actually talks. The student council president blinked before smiling. I understand. If you ever change your mind, the offer will always be open. That evening, Adrian arrived home. The mansion's front door opened before he even touched it. His mother hugged him. Welcome home. Grandma smiled warmly. I baked your favorite cookies. Lucas ran over. Kuya, let's play games. Olivia held up a shopping bag. I bought you new clothes. Victor looked up from the sofa. I ordered you a new phone. Adrian stood there silently. Did everyone suddenly win the lottery? The family looked away, pretending nothing was unusual. They're spoiling me again. Elena smiled innocently. We're just taking care of our son. After dinner, Adrian sat on the balcony, looking at the stars. The cool night breeze brushed against his face. For the first time since his reincarnation, he felt truly at peace. This is enough. I don't need another trillion-dollar empire. As long as my family is smiling, I'm happy. Inside the house, everyone heard every word. Elena quietly wiped away tears. Victor clenched his fists. Grandpa looked toward the night sky. Our grandson, he deserves the whole world. Grandma nodded. Then let's give it to him. The entire family silently agreed. From that day onward, the Reyes family made one unbreakable rule. If Adrian wanted something, they would give it to him, before he even had the chance to ask. Chapter 5, The Family That Grants Every Wish Before He Says It. The next Saturday, for the first time in weeks, Adrian had no school. He slowly opened his eyes and looked at the ceiling. I should sleep for another hour. Outside his bedroom, 6 people stood silently. Victor, Elena, Olivia, Lucas, Grandpa Raphael, Grandma Teresa. They had all heard his thought. Elena whispered, nobody wake him. Victor nodded seriously. Cancel breakfast. Grandma frowned. But I already made pancakes. We'll reheat them. Lucas saluted dramatically. Operation Let Kuya Sleep begins. 2 hours later, Adrian finally woke up. He stretched and walked downstairs. He froze. The entire family was waiting in the dining room. The pancakes were still warm. His favorite hot chocolate sat on the table. Everyone smiled. Good morning. Adrian blinked. Did they wait for me? They all looked away innocently. No. They're terrible liars. After breakfast, Adrian walked into the living room. He glanced at the enormous television. A bigger screen would be nice. 10 seconds later, Victor picked up his phone. Replace it. The butler bowed. Yes, chairman. By noon, a massive home theater had been installed. Adrian stared at it. I was just thinking. Later, he wandered into the garden. The roses were blooming beautifully. He noticed an empty corner. A small koi pond would look nice here. Grandpa smiled. I've always wanted a koi pond. Victor nodded immediately. Start construction today. Construction workers arrived within an hour. Adrian slowly looked at the workers. Then at his family. This can't be normal. Meanwhile, Lucas followed Adrian around like a tiny bodyguard. Kuya, want to play basketball? Adrian shook his head. Not really. Lucas instantly changed plans. Video games. Maybe later. Movie. Sure. Lucas cheered. Mission successful. That afternoon, Olivia dragged Adrian to a luxury clothing boutique. My little brother needs more outfits. Adrian looked at the price tags. This jacket costs more than my old apartment. Olivia smiled. We'll take it. And this one. And this. And those shoes. The employees couldn't stop smiling. Adrian silently accepted defeat. I only needed one hoodie. He went home with 20 shopping bags. Back at the mansion, Adrian sat quietly in the library. He opened a notebook and began writing. Future inventions, medical research, clean energy, affordable cancer treatments, artificial organs, satellite technology. His thoughts became serious. This time, I'll make sure technology helps everyone, not just the wealthy. Downstairs, the family heard everything. Victor's expression softened. My son, he still thinks about helping strangers. Grandma smiled proudly. That's because he has a kind heart. That evening, the family gathered for dinner. Halfway through the meal, Adrian looked at the shrimp dish. This is delicious. Grandma immediately stood up. I'll make it every Friday. Every Friday. Grandma nodded. Every Friday. Adrian sighed inwardly. I should stop thinking so much. Everyone laughed. Before going to bed, Adrian stood on the balcony again. The city lights sparkled below. He quietly thought. Life is peaceful. Maybe. This is what happiness feels like. Inside the house, no one interrupted him. No one spoiled the moment. His family simply smiled. Because for the first time, the boy who had once died alone as a billionaire, was finally living like an ordinary 17-year-old. And to the Reyes family, that ordinary happiness was worth more than all the money in the world. Chapter 6, The world's youngest investor begins his secret fortune. Monday morning, Adrian sat in the back seat of the family car as it headed towards school. Outside the window, the city bustled with people beginning another ordinary week. Inside, his thoughts were anything but ordinary. The global market will panic in 3 days. Technology stocks will fall. Energy companies will recover first. And in 2 weeks, one tiny gaming company will announce a revolutionary mobile game. Its stock will increase by over 3,000%. Victor, who sat beside him, almost forgot to breathe. 3,000%. He quietly opened the Notes app on his phone. Without Adrian noticing, he typed everything. At school, Adrian spent the morning quietly taking notes. He answered every question correctly. But never volunteered. Perfect. No attention today. Unfortunately, his homeroom teacher smiled. Adrian, the principal wants to see you. Why? Inside the principal's office, the principal stood up with a bright smile. Adrian, I've reviewed your academic records. Your teachers unanimously agree. You're wasting your talent. Adrian blinked. The principal continued. We want to recommend you for the National Genius Scholarship Program. Silence. That sounds troublesome. The principal laughed awkwardly. I know it's sudden, but please think about it. Adrian simply nodded. I will. Those 2 words shocked the principal more than anything else. So, he does speak. After school, instead of going straight home, Adrian stopped by a small neighborhood internet cafe. The computers were old. The chairs squeaked. The internet was painfully slow. Good. Nobody will suspect anything here. He logged into a newly created online brokerage account using money he had quietly saved over the years from birthday gifts and allowances. Current balance: 185,000 pesos. Not much, but enough. Without hesitation, he purchased shares in several unknown companies. A struggling semiconductor manufacturer, a small cybersecurity startup, a little-known renewable energy company, and the tiny gaming studio no one believed in. The employee at the next computer glanced at his screen. "Why are you buying those? They're terrible companies." Adrian simply smiled politely. Maybe. At the Reyes mansion, Victor couldn't sit still. His phone buzzed. The investment team had confirmed another one of Adrian's predictions. Every market movement so far was exactly as Adrian had thought. Victor leaned back in amazement. "My 17-year-old son is scarier than Wall Street." Grandpa burst into laughter. That evening, Adrian quietly entered the kitchen. He opened the refrigerator. "I'm craving strawberry cheesecake." Behind him, Grandma froze. Without saying a word, she slowly took out her apron. "I'm baking." Elena smiled. "I'll help." Lucas cheered. "I'll taste test." Olivia laughed. "I'll decorate it." Victor looked up from his laptop. "I'll buy the best strawberries in the city." Adrian turned around. Everyone smiled innocently. They heard me again. 1 hour later, a beautiful strawberry cheesecake sat on the dining table. Adrian stared at it. It looks perfect. Grandma smiled proudly. It was made with love. Adrian took one bite. His eyes widened slightly. Delicious. Grandma nearly cried from happiness. Did everyone hear that? Lucas grinned. He approved. The whole family applauded. Adrian lowered his head in embarrassment. They're celebrating because I like dessert. Late that night, alone in his room, Adrian opened his laptop. His newly purchased stocks appeared on the screen. Small numbers, small profits, nothing impressive. Yet, a faint smile appeared on his face. This is only the beginning. In my previous life, I built an empire from nothing. This time, I'll build something even greater. He looked toward the family photo on his desk. Not for myself, for them. Downstairs, every member of the Reyes family heard those words. Victor quietly smiled. He still thinks we're his reason. Grandma shook her head. He doesn't understand. Elena looked toward Adrian's room with gentle eyes. No, we're the lucky ones. Outside, the city lights glittered beneath the night sky. And somewhere in the financial markets, the first pieces of Adrian Reyes' second fortune had already begun to move. Chapter 7. The silent millionaire shocks the entire stock market. 1 week later, the financial world exploded. News channels flashed breaking headlines. Unknown investor earns 1,800% in 7 days. Who bought Phoenix Interactive before the historic surge? Mysterious young trader makes perfect investments again. Nobody knew the investor's identity. Except one person, Adrian Reyes, sitting quietly in his classroom. That was faster than I expected. His phone vibrated. Portfolio value, 185,000 pesos. Down pointing arrow, 4,862,000 pesos. Adrian stared at the screen. Almost 5 million already. He calmly locked his phone and continued listening to the lesson. His classmates remained unaware. The teacher kept explaining chemistry. Only Adrian knew. He had already become a millionaire. Meanwhile, at Reyes Group headquarters, Victor watched the same financial news. His assistant rushed into the office. "Chairman, the mysterious investor everyone is looking for." Victor smiled knowingly. "I already know." The assistant blinked. You do?" Victor simply nodded. "My son." The assistant nearly fainted. During lunch, Adrian quietly ate beneath the familiar acacia tree. Soon, students naturally gathered around him again. No one had planned it. It simply happened every day. One boy nervously scratched his head. "Adrian, I failed my math quiz." Can you teach me?" Adrian looked at him. It's only algebra." He quietly took out a notebook. Within 10 minutes, the confused student finally understood. His eyes widened. "I get it. Another student approached. Can you help me too? Then another. And another. Before long, the area beneath the tree had turned into an unofficial study group. Adrian blinked. How did I become a tutor? Back home, the entire Reyes family laughed after hearing that thought. Lucas pumped his fist. Kuya accidentally started a classroom. Olivia smiled. He can't escape being popular. Grandpa laughed. Our Adrian attracts people without even trying. That evening, Adrian checked his investments again. Some stocks had doubled. Others had tripled. One had increased nearly tenfold. Current assets, 11,300,000 pesos. He quietly closed the laptop. Enough for now. Money is just a tool. The real goal hasn't changed. He glanced at a list taped beside his desk. Checkmark protect mom's health. Checkmark grandpa's heart surgery. Checkmark help dad avoid future betrayals. Checkmark keep the family together. Checkmark build technology that changes lives. Money wasn't even on the list. Downstairs, Victor slowly folded the newspaper. He already has over 10 million. Elena smiled softly. And he's still thinking about us. Grandma wiped away tears. Our grandson is too kind. The next morning, Adrian entered the school library before classes. He found an old economics book. The theories here are outdated. Without thinking, he picked up a pen and filled 3 pages with corrections, improved formulas, and modern investment strategies. He returned the book to the shelf. Several hours later, the economics teacher opened it. His jaw slowly dropped. What? Who wrote this? Another teacher examined the notes. There. Better than university textbooks. Within an hour, the principal was informed. Nobody knew who the mysterious genius was. Except one librarian. She quietly remembered seeing Adrian reading that exact book earlier. That night, as Adrian prepared to sleep, another thought crossed his mind. Tomorrow, someone at school will discover those notes. Hopefully they don't realize it was me. Downstairs, his family heard everything. Victor chuckled. Our son is hiding his genius again. Olivia grinned. He leaves masterpieces lying around like homework. Grandpa smiled proudly. He doesn't realize how extraordinary he really is. Adrian closed his eyes, completely unaware that the next day, his peaceful school life was about to become even more impossible. Chapter 8. The anonymous genius everyone is searching for. The next morning, the entire school was in chaos. Teachers rushed through the hallways carrying the economics textbook. Students whispered excitedly. Even the principal looked unusually energetic. Find the student who wrote those notes. It doesn't matter what grade they're in. We must recruit this genius. Meanwhile, Adrian quietly changed into his indoor shoes. He had no idea everyone was looking for him. Hopefully today's peaceful. Unfortunately, his peaceful morning lasted exactly 12 seconds. Adrian. The school librarian hurried toward him. The teachers behind her immediately noticed. That's him. Adrian blinked. Me. The economics teacher smiled warmly. Would you come with us? I have a bad feeling about this. Inside the conference room, the principal placed the economics book on the table. Adrian, did you write these notes? Silence. Adrian stared at the book. He recognized his handwriting instantly. I forgot to erase them. The teachers watched him closely. After a long pause, he gave a tiny nod. Yes. The room fell completely silent. One teacher whispered, I knew it. Another looked at the formulas again. Incredible. The principal smiled broadly. Would you explain them? Adrian quietly walked to the whiteboard. He picked up a marker. For the next 20 minutes, he explained modern market psychology, risk management, behavioral economics, artificial intelligence in investing, and future financial trends. His voice remained calm, simple, easy to understand. When he finished, nobody spoke. Even the teachers looked overwhelmed. Finally, the economics teacher laughed. I've been teaching for 25 years. Today, I became the student. News spread faster than anyone expected. By lunchtime, the entire school knew. Adrian Reyes is an economics genius. He taught the teachers. He even corrected university-level theories. Students looked at Adrian with admiration. He simply lowered his head. I made things worse. Back at home, the Reyes family heard everything. Lucas laughed until he fell off the sofa. Kuya wanted peace. He accidentally became famous again. Olivia giggled. It's impossible for him to stay unnoticed. Grandpa proudly folded his arms. Our grandson is extraordinary. That afternoon, the principal called Adrian back into his office. This school isn't enough for someone with your talent. I've already contacted several universities. Adrian's eyes widened. Universities. They're willing to accept you immediately. I just wanted to finish high school quietly. The principal smiled awkwardly. You can think about it. On his way home, Adrian noticed an elderly man struggling to push a broken-down cart across the road. Without hesitation, he walked over and silently helped. The old man smiled gratefully. Thank you, young man. Adrian simply nodded. No one should struggle alone. Across the street, a reporter happened to photograph the scene. That evening, the picture appeared online. Young genius helps elderly man without seeking recognition. The comments poured in. He's handsome and kind. Can someone really be this perfect? Protect this boy at all costs. Adrian, completely unaware, was at home reading a science journal. During dinner, he looked at the fish his mother had cooked. Mom's cooking is still undefeated. Elena smiled brightly. I'll make this again tomorrow. Adrian blinked. Again, everyone laughed. Later that night, Adrian opened his investment portfolio. His total assets had quietly surpassed 25 million pesos. He closed the laptop without changing his expression. Good. Now Grandpa's surgery will never be delayed. Downstairs, the Reyes family heard his thoughts. Victor looked toward the ceiling. He earned 25 million. And the first thing he thought about was Grandpa. Grandpa smiled with moist eyes. My grandson, you've already given me more than enough. Outside, rain gently fell over the city. Inside the Reyes mansion, a warm family dinner ended with laughter. But elsewhere, someone had begun investigating Adrian Reyes. Someone powerful. Someone who had noticed a 17-year-old boy making impossible predictions. And that person had no intention of remaining a spectator. Chapter 9. The chairman who came looking for the silent genius. Monday morning, the Reyes mansion was unusually lively. The household staff hurried through the hallways. Luxury cars entered, through the front gate one after another. Adrian looked out the window. Did Dad invite important guests? Downstairs, Victor smiled awkwardly. Actually, they invited themselves. An hour earlier, the chairman of one of the country's largest conglomerates, the Valencia Group, had personally requested a meeting. Not with Victor, not with the board of directors, but with Adrian Reyes. Even Victor had been surprised. In the living room, Chairman Miguel Valencia, a man respected throughout the business world, calmly sipped his tea. Beside him sat his granddaughter, Sofia Valencia, a business management student who admired brilliant entrepreneurs. Across from them sat the Reyes family. Just then, Adrian entered the room. He politely bowed. Good morning. It was only 2 words. Yet everyone smiled. I wonder why someone this important wants to meet me. The Reyes family heard his thoughts. Chairman Valencia stood up. So you're Adrian. I've heard many interesting stories about you. Adrian remained silent. The chairman smiled. I'll be honest. I investigated you. Victor frowned slightly. Chairman Valencia continued. You predicted several market movements with impossible accuracy. You corrected university-level economics. And somehow, you've quietly made millions in the stock market. The room became silent. Adrian thought calmly. He found out faster than expected. Instead of being frightened, Chairman Valencia laughed. Excellent. I wasn't looking for a criminal. I was looking for a genius. He placed a thick folder on the table. Inside were financial reports from Valencia Group. I want your opinion. Victor's executives looked shocked. One of the country's most powerful businessmen was asking a 17-year-old for advice. Adrian quietly read every page. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15. Finally, he closed the folder. There are 3 problems. Chairman Valencia's eyes narrowed. Adrian pointed to several pages. Your overseas division is hiding losses. This subsidiary is manipulating inventory numbers. And this executive is leaking confidential information. Silence. The chairman slowly looked toward his own finance director. The man's face instantly turned pale. What nonsense. Adrian calmly slid another document forward. If you compare these reports, the numbers don't match. The chairman immediately ordered an internal investigation. Within 30 minutes, everything Adrian said was confirmed. The executive collapsed into his chair. He had been exposed. Chairman Valencia burst into hearty laughter. Ha ha ha, incredible. He looked at Adrian with admiration. Young man, you just saved my company. Victor proudly crossed his arms. That's my son. As the meeting ended, Chairman Valencia handed Adrian a black business card. If you ever need anything, my doors are always open. Adrian accepted it politely. I probably won't need it. The entire Reyes family heard his thoughts and nearly laughed. Before leaving, Sophia approached Adrian. You're amazing. I hope we can be friends. Adrian nodded once. Thank you. Sophia smiled brightly before leaving. Lucas immediately whispered after the guests departed. Kuya made another friend. Adrian's ears turned slightly red. Friends are nice. Olivia covered her mouth. He admitted it. That evening, news spread through the business world. Valencia Group fires corrupt executive after emergency audit. Chairman personally thanks young financial advisor. No names were mentioned, but rumors spread quickly. Some called the mysterious advisor the silent genius. Others called him the boy who could see the future. Adrian simply sat on the balcony, enjoying the cool night breeze. I don't want fame. I only want enough power to protect my family. Inside the mansion, everyone heard those words. Victor smiled proudly. Grandpa nodded. Grandma clasped her hands together. Elena wiped away another happy tear. Their precious Adrian had already become someone admired by the country's greatest business leaders. Yet, his greatest wish remained unchanged. To spend peaceful days with the people he loved most. Far away, in a luxurious office overlooking the city, another billionaire placed Adrian's file on his desk. So, the rumors are true. I want to meet this boy. The number of people searching for Adrian Reyes had just doubled. Writing. Chapter 10. The boy every billionaire wanted on their side. 3 days later, the name Adrian Reyes had quietly spread among the country's wealthiest business leaders. Not to the public, but within private boardrooms, private clubs, luxury hotels, and billionaire gatherings. Everyone asked the same question. Who is Adrian Reyes? At the Reyes Group headquarters, Victor looked exhausted. His secretary entered the office carrying a thick stack of invitation letters. Chairman, more. Victor sighed. How many today? 23. Victor rubbed his forehead. Every invitation was the same. Business dinners, private meetings, investment summits, leadership forums. Each one requested Adrian's attendance. Victor smiled helplessly. My son just wants to finish high school. Meanwhile, Adrian was peacefully solving a physics worksheet. Finally, a normal day. His class advisor suddenly opened the classroom door. Adrian, the principal needs you. The classroom burst into laughter. One classmate whispered, he says that almost every day now. Adrian silently stood. There goes my peaceful afternoon. Inside the principal's office, 5 distinguished men in expensive suits were waiting. The moment Adrian entered, all 5 stood up. They introduced themselves one by one. The chairman of the country's largest shipping company. The founder of a global technology firm. A real estate billionaire. An investment fund CEO. And one of Asia's richest entrepreneurs. Adrian blinked. Why are they here? The principal smiled nervously. They insisted. One of the billionaires stepped forward. Mr. Reyes, we have a proposal. He placed a folder on the table. We're creating a youth innovation council. We want you to become its youngest member. Another chairman smiled. We don't expect you to attend every meeting. We simply want your ideas. The room became quiet. Adrian thought for a moment. If I refuse, they'll probably keep asking. He slowly nodded. I'll help. If it benefits society. The 5 businessmen exchanged delighted glances. Exactly as they had hoped. That evening, news quietly spread among the country's elite. 5 billionaires recruit 17-year-old genius. The story remained confidential, but influential circles were buzzing. Many executives became curious. Who exactly was Adrian Reyes? Back at the Reyes mansion, dinner was unusually cheerful. Lucas grinned from ear to ear. Kuya, 5 billionaires wanted you. Grandpa laughed loudly. When I was 17, I was chasing chickens. You've got billionaires chasing you. Everyone burst into laughter. Even Adrian smiled. Grandpa really says the funniest things. Grandpa puffed out his chest proudly. I knew it. I still have good jokes. After dinner, Adrian walked into the garden. The newly completed koi pond reflected the moonlight. Colorful koi swam peacefully through the crystal clear water. It turned out beautiful. Behind the curtains, the whole family secretly watched him. Elena whispered, "He likes it." Victor smiled. "Worth every peso." Grandma nodded happily. "I'll feed the fish with him tomorrow." Late that night, Adrian sat at his desk reviewing global market reports. His investment portfolio had quietly grown again. Current assets, 58,700,000 pesos. He calmly closed the laptop. Money no longer surprised him. Instead, he opened another notebook. On the first page, he wrote, "Future projects, affordable cancer treatment, free AI education platform, disaster prediction system, scholarships for poor students, advanced prosthetics, renewable energy research." He looked at the list and smiled softly. I couldn't save everyone in my previous life. This time, I'll save as many people as I can. Downstairs, the Reyes family heard every word. Silence filled the mansion. Victor slowly looked toward Adrian's room. He became a billionaire once. Yet all he wants is to help people. Grandma gently smiled through her tears. Our Adrian has the richest heart. Outside, the moon shone brightly over the city. Far away, in another luxurious office, a silver-haired elderly man closed Adrian's file. Unlike the others, he wasn't interested in Adrian's business talent. He whispered with a serious expression, "I finally found him, the boy who can change the future." The old man picked up his phone. "Prepare the helicopter. I'm meeting Adrian Reyes tomorrow." For the first time since his reincarnation, someone had come looking for Adrian. Not because of his wealth, but because they believed he held the key to humanity's future. End of Volume 1. Coming in Volume 2. The silent genius who began changing the world. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. See you on to the next chapter.